Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a bankruptcy attorney, personal bankruptcy attorney here in Atlanta. And I'd like to answer a question that I got from one of my clients the other day, and that is, why are credit card companies so difficult to deal with? Why will they not negotiate with me when I've got a credit card debt and I have no other choice but to file bankruptcy? Why won't they work with me? Clearly, it would seem logical that a credit card company would rather have some money from you rather than lose everything in bankruptcy, because, of course, credit card debt is unsecured debt. And in a Chapter 7, for example, they'll get paid zero. In a Chapter 13, they may get paid 1 or 2 cents on the dollar 3 years from now. So why would they not want to negotiate with you? Well, there are a couple of reasons for that. First of all is just the practical reason, and that is that hardline collection by credit card companies does pay dividends. I've not seen any specific research on it, but just from talking to bill collectors and people in the credit card industry, hardline collection where they call you 15 times a day and write and threaten and that sort of thing, it works. They wouldn't do it if it doesn't work. So they know that a certain percentage of people will actually pay them. They'll borrow against their 401k, they'll borrow from mom or dad or a sibling, and they'll actually pay them. So percentage-wise, they make more money collecting on these accounts than they would negotiating with you and taking something less. Secondly, realize if they do negotiate a deal, a payment plan, that takes manpower. It takes effort. It takes computer systems to manage it. So imagine that you're a credit card company and you've got 100,000 people on payment plans. It becomes a nightmare to manage. And so basically, they have figured out that the cost of managing this plus the cost of recovery, it makes more sense simply to collect hard on these accounts and factor in that a certain percentage of these people will file bankruptcy. And of course, a certain percentage of Chapter 13 bankruptcies won't make it at all. So those are the reasons why you don't see a lot of negotiation. Now, I will tell you there is kind of a sweet spot for negotiation. And if you think about it, it does kind of make sense. And that is sort of the intersection of time and money. What I mean by that is that once you get beyond about 3 months, you haven't made any payments, credit card companies will be prepared to negotiate with you in most cases. Now, they're not going to give you a plan. They will want to see some form of cash. But I've had situations where I've been able to work out a deal where on, let's say, a $20,000, $30,000 debt, I'm able to pay 15, 20, 30 cents on the dollar, sometimes less, sometimes a little bit more, but sometimes less. So if you have access to cash, and again, think approximately 50 cents on the dollar, and you get about 3 months in where you haven't made any payments, that's sort of the sweet spot where the creditors will be willing to accept a lump sum as a settlement of the debt. Now, realize if they do that, they're going to send you a 1099 for debt forgiveness. It's a tax issue, which may or may not cause tax liability, depending on whether you're insolvent or not. And not all credit companies will do it. Some of them will insist on 70 or 80%. Some of them will go lower. You can certainly always ask, but generally, it's not going to be very easy to get a payment plan. You're going to need to have access to cash. The best I've seen would be maybe breaking it down into 2 payments, one now and one in 3 months. But that's typically when you're able to negotiate some sort of a deal. Of course, the other type you could negotiate would be if the credit card company got a judgment against you and 3, 4, 5 years pass, then you can typically get a deal in the 5, 10, 15% on the dollar range. So that's big picture how credit card companies look at this, why they're unwilling to negotiate with you, and really the sweet spot to try to find a time to settle the debt for some sort of a lump sum. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, like it on Facebook if you saw it there, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd appreciate that. Any questions about this or any other personal bankruptcy matter, please let me know. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please let me know that as well. So again, I'm Jonathan Ginsberg, and thank you very much.